Well, the funny thing about that is that it's not a question. It's actually a statement or a command, depending on how you interpret it. And I think it's one of those things that once you've heard it, you can't unhear it. So the different characters interpret it differently in the sense of, for instance, Frank, I think, rejects it completely, whereas Elbow takes it to heart almost immediately. And honestly, I think John, that is his day-to-day way of being, is to say, what's impossible and can I find something like that to do? So, and then there's Mary, who is, I feel like, the most grounded character in the book by far, who I call her super competent. She can make whatever she wants to happen. So they each take it in a very different direction. The most surprising thing, I think, is that the Sawtells don't care at all what the dogs look like. They're entirely focused on their behavior, their ability to learn, how they perform as companions. And it's one of the reasons why the Sawtells don't place the dogs until they're 18 months old. They want to be able to keep the dogs in an environment where they can maximize their learning. So they're very different in the sense of not caring about the appearance, but about how well they can be companions. Ida is actually two characters in one. She has this character, she is just a normal human being who happens to have been born during a fire, at which point this other supernatural being has hidden inside her. And she goes through her life having to negotiate with that other being to make certain things happen or not happen as she wishes. So I see her as someone who has continual conflict, actually. She would like to lead a normal life, but she really can't. I think of the story of Edgar Sawtell and Familiaris as sort of meshing like gears. One doesn't necessarily have to be read before the other. And largely they are independent because they talk about different generations of the Sawtells. But there are moments that mesh. When you're reading one, you won't know which moments those are until you read the other. Probably the element that is most like that is the relationship between Gar and Claude. In the story of Edgar Sawtell, that is a mystery to Edgar, what has gone on in the past between his father and his uncle. I'm actually very interested in hearing from readers who read Familiaris first and then the story of Edgar Sawtell. I want to hear how that inflects the story of Edgar Sawtell differently than it does to people who've read them in the other order.